Welcome to lesson 4. I'm so excited because now we're transitioning finally from the mindset side to the social side. I know it's like halfway through this course, but making the mindset shift and understanding the confidence side of it and being comfortable with yourself first is such a big aspect of this. Now this is going to all seem so much easier, trust me. This is how you master the social confidence now that you mastered the individual confidence. And how do you sell yourself to anyone? Dates, right? Romantic partners, maybe just the spouse you already have, business partners, friend groups, connections that you'll make. First, understand that social confidence is not a choice. Let me move myself here. Social confidence used to be a survival instinct, right? Like, you had to fit in with a group, as we've talked about before. They killed a woolly mammoth. You don't want to get left behind in the morning. You want to make sure they like you, so you want to make sure they'll let you eat the food too, so that you got to stay in and not, have the ability to be your own person or walk away, because that's what keeps you alive. We can break that nowadays. That's such a useless skill to have. And I want you to understand that social confidence, being comfortable with who you are, will make or break your social, dating, and business connections. If somebody can read you much easier than you think. A lot of times people think that, oh, we're so much more advanced than other people might take us, but they can read all your signals because you do this naturally being alive. Your survival instinct is to say, who is comfortable with my presence and who isn't? And understanding that distinction will keep you alive or dead in your social connections. And that's essentially money and your life nowadays. The difference between you being the weird person or the go-to person, right? Others' perceptions are constantly changing. So your most recent image is their go-to memory. I want you to think about that, right? If you're this great, a lot of you have this fear, right? Maybe you met the girlfriend or boyfriend's parents and you're like, wow, they must think I'm really great. They didn't seem to, think negatively of me. They really liked me. We connected. They asked me a lot of questions. I think I'm really getting off on the right foot with them. You make one slip up, all of a sudden, you have a fight with the girlfriend and she's living at home, so she tells her parents. All of a sudden, you're the piece of shit, just like that. It transformed instantly because you had one bad recent memory and that's all they think of you now. And so until you fix that, that's all they have to go off of is you're the bad guy until you become the good guy again or the good girl. So how do you control interactions and yourself shows others your respect for yourself. So being able to guide the conversation in the way that you want and also away from what you don't want shows others what you're willing to be comfortable with. And just having those limits tells other people that you know who you are, and that's what confidence essentially is as a definition. So how do we master small talks and the social interaction? Because obviously you're not going to get through the day, right? Especially at a work, like you're in the office space with the cubicles. You have to interact with people, right? People don't want to think you're the weirdo, so you have to put yourself out there, even in just school or any social atmosphere. And that's what makes us confident is our ability to know that we can interact with others. It comes naturally when you are in control. When you can respond and other people know that you knew exactly what you wanted to say, how you said it, and you don't have second guesses about it. It's when you start second guessing and questioning yourself, especially publicly, being like, well, I don't know, maybe, that you're not confident anymore. So mastering interactions with others by mastering small talk and putting yourself in a position of power shows other people that faster than anything, right? In your elevator pitch or small talk conversation, you're the guy, whether or not, they believed it from the beginning. So stop asking people, right, first how their day has been for them, right? How was school? How was work? How are things going today? Because I guarantee you they're going to say good or not too bad. That's a pretty common answer. And it's almost like they think you want them to say that. And so if you're asking them basic ask questions, they're going to respond with basic ask answers. And they're going to think you're just a surface level NPC and there's nothing interesting about you. So it really just shows ingenuity, not ingenuity, ingenuineness. That's probably what it should have said here. But I want you to ask about something deeper. You want to be genuine with who you are. You don't want to give off this fake sense of yourself. So you want to actually dig a little bit deeper. So ask about something like form or forward, right? Form is, and this is an acronym that I've used. I've actually always used forward, but form is kind of a new one. It gives you a little bit more flexibility. But if you don't know what to talk about, if it's somebody you especially don't know, you can pick any one of these. It can be a transition between FOR and D or FOR and M, but you can really start wherever you want. But instead of asking this, ask something like this so that the person knows you actually care. Or you can ask this, and then ask this to show that you're invested more than just surface level. So F stands for family. O stands for occupation. Obviously, if you're in the work, something related to the job or more deeper, not just like, can you fax this over to me, right? R stands for like recreation a lot of times, from what I've heard. And then M is either miscellaneous, or D is dreams, depending on, what type of atmosphere it is. So ask about, a question related to one of these. How are the kids doing? How's the wife doing? How are things at home? Occupation, right? Do you like, how are you liking it here? I know you've been here about 3 months. Has everything been going pretty well for you? Recreation. What do you like to do outside of work? Do you like pickleball? I know that's been pretty popular lately. I've been playing it a bit myself. Just whatever it may be. Miscellaneous or dreams, right? It can either just be, what kind of books do you read? Or maybe it's, what goals do you have here? Do you have is there anything you're trying to achieve in your personal life that, any big hobbies that you have that you're trying to, make it pro with or anything? And just start paying attention to how others speak in body language. And doing that, you're going to start to notice that, other people are sometimes as often as nervous as you. Just asking questions like this. They're as nervous responding, right? Because they might not have had this training or been through any of this. Or maybe they're at a worse point in life than you are. And sometimes asking these questions is going to do more for them than you can ever think. So think of it like you're doing them a service by just putting yourself out there. Because if they make it short and quick, they probably don't want to talk. But at least try, right? Because that's going to put you in the confident position. And as you just heard me ask the questions, I want you to think about, first of all, why did I put this picture here? It's because it's a child. Imagine the way I just asked those questions, right? Do you like pickleball? Is there like a big sport or, hobby that you like playing? Playing? Like when I end on like a high tone and I'm saying it like I'm a child asking their parent, right? Hey, why is the sun always there? Where does the sun go at night? Like, if you're a child, like asking these like high, frequency, like tone questions that are showing curiosity. Hey, why is that? Instead of just, why is this the case, right? But if you change your tone and you're just curious and you show that in your personality and show a genuine interest, right, when you're engaging with energy to get people to open up, that's going to do it the most, especially those open-ended questions where we go back to form or forward, right? Because that's going to give them the chance to talk. And so with that, right, what do you do outside of work? Why do you choose to do that? Why is that? Why did you like that? Why did you get started with that? How did you get started with that? Just leave it, it's really as simple as that. Ask a basic question and follow up, and then let them talk. And they're going to realize how great you are for simply giving them the chance to do so, because people like talking. I don't like talking on this because I've been, recording these for a while, but talking is fun when you're doing it with other people, especially people you like and that are asking more. If others want to change the topic, feed into it, right? Don't resist. Pickleball is great and all. How's your day been going? And they want to just, take it back with them. Maybe they don't feel like talking right now, but at least you gave it the shot. And, don't try to control it back. It's not showing confidence to have, utter disrespect for other people and, just guide them where you want. But instead, respect their boundaries too. How do you actively listen? After you've asked the question, most people don't shut the H up, right? And so that's the worst part. Men often suck at this because you have a lower emotional intelligence than women. I know the woman's being the one that's kind of the a-hole in this picture because she's just ignoring the guy, but a lot of times it's actually men that are the worst case. I want you to think of the last time you actually truly listened to every word someone said. There's a difference between hearing and listening, right? This could be hearing you. Oh yeah, your day was great. Yeah, that's wonderful. Versus, oh wow, did you like that? How did that happen? Right? You see how I'm like engaged, my energy is there. I'm staring at, the person that's talking to me and engaging with you. And that way you can tell I'm fully invested, especially body language, right? My body is framed toward you. I am positioned in a way where I am looking at you, I'm nodding, I'm asking you questions to show that I'm listening. And I'm not just cutting you off, but I'm truly hearing the words you're saying. If you're fully invested, it's going to go so much further. I used to think so much, and I had so many problems in my relationships because I thought that just listening was going to allow me, if I could prove that I heard what the words you said, that I was somehow winning or somehow proving myself right. But that's not the point. You don't want to be able to prove to someone that you heard what the words they said. You want to show them that you were listening, because you don't get any deeper with a relationship or a situation, right? Or a partnership because you heard the words they said. They care that you listened. They want to express themselves, and they want to feel understood. And that comes from your body language just as much as it does your tonality and your responses to what they say. Has this caused issues in the past, right, with your dating or connections? Has your partner been like, I feel like he doesn't listen to me, or she doesn't listen to me, and I feel like it's just so hard to communicate with you, or that we can't, get along? What are you doing? Are you on your phone when they're talking to you? Do you actually stare at them and give them the full attention that they deserve, having committed to them as a partner? Because a lot of times you're not doing that 100%. The fastest way in this age to stand out with new people, especially older generation people that you might be targeting with your business at some point, or for relationships, to work with them at some point. These people didn't grow up with phones. And so standing out is so vital by showing them that you're mature enough to know when to put the phone down or the distraction and actually have a face-to-face. It's so rare these days. Social anxiety, right? Think of confidence and social anxiety as a net zero sum. I like to picture it this way. You don't have to, but I think of it this way. And so imagine like a glass, right? Maybe this is the glass. Maybe this much of this glass, this 20% or maybe 30% of it is confidence. And so the rest of it's just naturally going to be empty space, and that's where social anxiety is bred. Because you don't know that you feel like you're not confident, and you're only this confident. And so the amount that you aren't confident is naturally going to drive you crazy and cause anxiety for you to think about. And so being able to naturally tell yourself you're confident is going to force that glass to be more full and the social anxiety out of there. Choosing to be confident replaces social anxiety. It gives you the control. It's not you have to naturally be confident, but it's you have to prove confidence in situations that you probably otherwise wouldn't be, to actually increase the natural level you have. Because you're proving yourself right. You're testing the boundaries, right? Remember the mindset? You don't want to go too far on the curve that you prove yourself wrong. You want to slowly progress. And the more that you prove yourself right in situations that you would otherwise feel anxious, the more that social anxiety is naturally going to be replaced in the future. It's a survival instinct, right? To break focus on others completely. Being able to understand that, like, in order to survive, we have to kind of fear others, because we don't know if this random caveman walking up to us is going to murder us with a stone and a stick, or if they're here to actually help us. And so we want to be a little bit anxious when interacting with new people. But again, a skill that's outdated today, because we want to connect with people, especially if we want to make money. So you need to practice calming exercises. This is really cheesy, I know, but this really helps. Before you interact with somebody, this doesn't have to be like you sit there and meditate where someone's watching you and then you walk up to them and try to have a small talk conversation. No. When you're approaching them or they're approaching you, just slowly breathe in. And what I would do is, when you breathe in a little bit at the top, just take a little bit more air in and then breathe out while you're listening to them. Hey, how's your day? It's going good. How are you? And then, respond on the way, breathing out. You've already just taken a big breath and you're not like, oh, it's going good. I'm really good. I'm running out of breath here, but things are good. I'm really anxious. Because when you start running out of air and you start feeling, like you can't breathe, or that, somebody's pressing on you and you need more space or air, that's when you feel anxious. Eye contact is like lifting weights for anxiety. The more you stare into someone's soul in the eye contact, their brain and your brain are basically connecting through the eyes. And somebody can tell, wow, this person is not afraid to look at me in full clarity and have me see them as well in full clarity, because they're not afraid of the person they are. The other person's worried a lot of times just as much as you, if not more. And so understanding that, if you see them breaking eye contact or looking down, then they're like, wow, I don't trust myself as much as he does. And I'm worried that he's going to see something in me that he might not like versus that he will like. Or she like. I don't know who's watching this. So recognizing that true connections versus superficial ones are going to exist, and you need to start getting better at analyzing them, is going to be important. So do others actually value your ideas? Or are you just friends of convenience? Are you friends because you're roommates and you didn't have another roommate, so you have to be friends with this person? Or do you actually value the same ideals? Do you have the same endpoints in life? Were you dating your partner for their looks because they were the baddie, right? Or did they actually have values and ideals that you shared? I've made this mistake in the past. I've dated more shallow people because at the end of the day, we all have the same time on this earth. So if you're spending your time working on your looks, you're not spending your time on actual things of value to add to your life and to others. And so a lot of times I was spending my time on the wrong concepts. But do you actually share, do you know what your partner's goals even are? Like, that's another thing to consider with this. You naturally carry on conversations with those that you share ideals with. So the people that you can easily respond to via text or on the phone or in person, it's probably because you get the same message that they're putting out and you're on the same wavelength. And those are the people to keep around and invest in. I want you to pick up on how conversations make you feel. Do you feel like you have more energy walking away, or like you're kind of smiling to yourself walking away like, damn, that was a really good interaction? Or do you feel like, it's this person again. They were taking up so much of my time. Let's see what they want now. Your energy is your survival guide. It's the instinct, right? The survival instinct. So what is your survival instinct telling you? Is this person going to murder you with a stick? Or do they maybe want to add to your clan and help you chase down the woolly mammoth? Trust that instinct. It's the one best part of our survival instinct that is amazing, is how we determine danger and what people's value actually are to us. Many connections or relationships are draining your focus, like, work and etc. It's not about being the asshole, but it's about proving your worth to these people. Not even to these people, but to yourself. And so I want you, again, like we said in the previous lessons, to politely decline. Make it about the situation, not them. Sorry, guys, I know we really want to go clubbing this weekend. I really hope it goes well for you, but I don't do that anymore. That's not who I'm trying to be. And again, it's not about you. It's just about, that's not something that I want to put too much value in going forward here, because I've made some mistakes here. And so I want to do better. It's not about them. They can go have a good time if they want. You're not choosing to hate them, right? And they're not choosing to hate you unless they are, and then stop talking to them. But you're choosing to not interact in that situation because you value yourself. And people, that pick up on your attention to those things that you want to do as well as not, they're going to respect you more, not less. And again, if they respect you less, then they're not someone. It's the easiest litmus test of friends. Put a price tag on your time. Start budgeting like actual finance. You can even pick a number. My time's worth $50 an hour. Maybe that's if you know how much you can make, on your side hustle or whatever, when we get to that point and you start working in the premier community and things like that, then I want you to start actually putting a price tag on. But if you can make $50 an hour, then how many dollars are you wasting spending 3 hours going to the club? Especially spending money there instead of doing work. And so right now I want you to go through your group chats and texts, like on Snapchat, your Instagram DMs, which hopefully by the mindset training you've probably gotten rid of, but if not, still go through them, then get rid of them. Who is wasting your time? What friends that you see day to day that you could just talk about, right? You can show you a video, they don't need to send it to you. Who's wasting your time? Which of your connections are building your inspiration on your work? Which friends are talking about stock trading, or maybe they're just online degenerate gamblers, or there's the people that are actually building a business and selling a product or service that's worth it to the community. And those people, right? People that are passionate about that, those are the people you want to keep around, because you can easily interact if that's what you want to go with, if that's what your interest takes you in. Honesty will reveal others' true intentions. The real ones, the real G's, stay through it all. It's all right to transition away. You're not cutting someone off, you're just moving them to the side. Right? You're moving yourself actually to the side. You're not moving someone else, but being able to distance yourself from where they're at currently is moving to a different position. And they're going to respect that as long as they know you're doing it for the right reasons. With that said, we're starting to figure out how to interact with people, right? Let's go back through it real quick. I'm not going to make this quick, I'm not going to make this too long, but again, choosing to be confident, right? Mastering small talk, figuring out how you can actually start the conversations, what topics to talk about. Being genuinely curious and listening in response is going to show people the respect they deserve, and it's going to allow to the best opportunities in life, on dates, friendships, and more. Social anxiety, right? Being able to understand that if you're not confident, you're basically anxious. Being able to fake it until you make it is going to be huge with that. Recognizing true connections versus just superficial people and time wasters, and setting your limits on who these people actually are going to be in your life and what you actually want to engage in or not, and telling that to them. Start reclaiming your time, start putting your focus on the things that matter, and other people will start respecting you as well. With that said, I'll see you in the next lesson. Let's get a little bit deeper into this topic.